In Phoenix, I'm John Miller along with Joe Morgan. And look at that. Between innings, happy birthday, Teresa Morgan, from your husband, Joe. Now, that was a thoughtful thing to do, Joe.
Yeah, I ran all the way out there and hand wrote it up on the board.
And you have been busy tonight. Interviewing Bonds before the game.
Yeah.
You got the blimp up there now. Getting the birthday greeting. So happy birthday, Teresa.
Yeah.
Here's Javier. Giants trailing the Diamondbacks 3-1. That one is back out of play down the left field line. Javier will be followed by Maine and then Sanchez. Next Sunday will be at Dodger Stadium, from one of the great new ballparks in baseball here in Phoenix to one of the. It's hard to imagine Dodger Stadium being an old ballpark now, but
you're right.
It still looks brand new. It's still a great palace of baseball under new ownership. A new proprietor out there now. We'll see the Dodgers and the Astros next Sunday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. 2-1 to Stan Javier. You know, Stan's father, Julian, was an outstanding infielder.
Right.
Some outstanding Cardinal ball clubs in the 60s. And Stan was named for Stan the Man Musial, the greatest Cardinal of them all, by his father, Julian.
Well, they should have took it all away. Stan the Man Javier.
Well,
take it a little too far. Huh?
Some names you can be given.
Okay.
And some names you have to earn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Stan the Man definitely earned his.
That one is shot. Stan the Man like to right center, but caught out there by Chris Jones. Well, Javier's hit a couple of shots in this ballpark tonight. He's 0 for 2. For the complete game, turn to ESPN's Baseball Tonight, the most comprehensive baseball program on television. That's Baseball Tonight, with all the latest scores and highlights, including games that are still in progress. Baseball Tonight, weeknights at 10:30 and midnight Eastern on ESPN. Here now is Brent Maine. And it's 0-1. Baseball Tonight. It's my favorite show, Joe.
It is very informative.
Maine grounded out to second his first time. Deep to left field. Benitez can't get there. And that one skips over the wall and into the crowd. Man, it would have been real interesting if it had stayed in play because of that bizarre corner out there. One of many oddities in the outfield wall here. But he gets the automatic double.
Yeah, John, I thought we were going to see something unusual here. Fastball tailing away. It's up a little bit, and Maine goes the other way. Benitez gets a good jump on it, but watch, it's tailing away from him and bounces away. Now, this is where John's talking about, right up in here. That ball hits, it would have carried him. Don't know exactly where it would have gone, but it bounces into the seats for a ground rule double.
It's an angle very similar to the angle what they call the triangle in deep right center at Fenway Park, the deepest part of the Fenway outfield alignment. This comes in the left field corner here, and there are going to be some real bizarre bounces at times in this ballpark. We're going to try and show you some of the various angles and whatnot around the outfield wall. There you see it again. From the left field foul pole, the fence, the wire fence, angles out at about a 45-degree angle, hits that padded wall, which then comes back in another 15 or 20 feet back toward left field. There you see it.
Dusty Baker told me before the game, he said wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of triples and even inside the park home runs here, because of the way the ball will bounce after it hits a wall out there in the outfield.
We'll have to go out and show you that center field area, which has got all kinds of oddities to it. Ray Sanchez, the hitter. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count to him. Estes, the pitcher, on deck. Center field, 25-foot high wall out there with 2 pillars that are in the field of play. They protrude from the wall. And 2 overhang areas. You see that? Above each one of the advertising panels out there. To third, Matt Williams. Wow, so smooth. One of the best at third base. 2 down. And now Sean Estes will come up.
Now here's Matt Williams. Now watch, he's got to make a choice. Either he comes to get the ball or he backs up to get it on the big hop. He makes a kind of tough hop, but he gets rid of it quickly, and he's able to throw Sanchez out at first. When Matt Williams first came up, John, with the Giants, he was a shortstop, and he had the best hands of any young player I'd ever seen. I mean, he just had such soft, smooth hands, and then he moved over to third base, and he's won a lot of Gold Gloves over there.
Here's Estes now, and that's a strike. Out in center field, you had those overhanging areas that protrude up at the top of the wall out there. There you see one of them, and there are steel girders beneath as supports that are in play out there. And the umpires saw those. They changed a couple of the ground rules here. I mean, a ball could bounce underneath those and hit those, and who knows where it would bounce after that. Also, there's one of the, you see the pillars around the 407 marker out there. Matt Williams tags Brent Maine going by. That made it easier. Giants have not had a hit tonight with a man in scoring position. 0 for 6. The power coming up. Bell, Lee, and Matt Williams, 3-1, Arizona.
Hey, how's it going?
All of the scoring came in the first inning. And Arizona will have its big bats up here against Estes, though. Jay Bell, Travis Lee, and Matt Williams. Jay Bell has walked, scored a run, and he's been called out on strikes. 0-1 the count. Jay Bell got a solid single in the left center field. Hamilton over to pick it up. So Bell is aboard with Travis Lee now heading to the plate. Travis Lee, only 22 years old, only 1 year in pro ball before this year, and yet here he is in his first major league season hitting third.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. You wonder about a guy just coming in to major league. He's hitting third. That's a tough position to hit in.
Curveball too low. He has a single and an RBI. He was robbed of a base hit by Jeff Kent his last time. You know, you might think ideally you'd like to ease him in, maybe hit him seventh or something.
Right. Or second. Second or seventh.
Hit .331 last year in 2 stops, an A ball and triple A. The curve from Estes misses. 2-0 the count. Travis Lee seems to have a cool and very collected demeanor about it. You know what his favorite movie is? The Natural. That fits, doesn't it? This could be 2. Kent the second one. Sanchez the first. 2. Double play.
Well, we talked again about the Giants making the plays defensively, and they've done that well tonight. One of the key double plays was in the first inning. And here you see Estes delivery. Ground ball to second base. Kent to Sanchez to JT Snow.
2 down. Matt Williams has had a bloop single to right with an RBI. He's bounced a single to the left, and he's done it again. Matt is hitting all of the holes in this one tonight.
Well, it seems like they're wondering, trying to think with Matt Williams. He's hit fastballs, and they think, well, he figures I got to throw him a curveball. He throws another fastball. He singles again on the first pitch to left field. So he has hit all fastballs. Here's the first pitch, fastball, and Matt hits it in the hole. Last time up, first pitch, fastball. Matt hit it in the hole that time as well. So they're probably thinking, well, he's looking for a curve, but Matt's just looking for the baseball.
7 hits for Arizona. Williams back to the bag at first. Yamil Benitez coming up now. Now, many people feel this National League West from top to bottom could be one of, if not the strongest in baseball. Benitez first ball swinging. Sanchez to Kent with a force on Williams. Just like that, the inning is over. More on that division talk later. We're heading to the 6th, top of the order. Hamilton, Miller, and Barry Bonds due up for the Giants. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And we'll get to that later. But first of all, ball one to Darrell Hamilton as we start the sixth inning. Hamilton, Miller, and Bonds for the Giants. Hamilton has flied deep to right center, and he's been called out on strikes. And that's back to the screen. Hamilton has flied, or as we said, 0 for 2, 5 for 22 in the young season. He struck out 8 times, though, in 22 at-bats, including 2 games where he had 3 strikeouts each game. So uncharacteristic for Hamilton, who usually makes contact. And Andy Bettis is making it look easy. That pitch was only his 62nd of the game, and he's just kind of breezing through here. Had some trouble in the 4th inning, but got through it with some quick footwork on his part. And Devon White takes it. There is 1 away. Hamilton is 0 for 3. Dusty Baker talking about Barry Bonds, and he had some interesting insights into Bonds.
Everybody sees a guy that can run, that can hit with power. But Barry knows what's going on out there all the time. You know, he picks up things, you know, differences in a guy's curveball out of his glove or a fastball or a split finger as quickly as anybody that I've been around, probably outside of Hank Aaron. And that's pretty select company. And he sees things that a lot of guys don't see. You know, he'll say, man, you don't see it. He's doing this or he's doing that or whatever. And guys are like, yeah, I think I see it. And then 4 or 5 innings later, guys will see it, but Barry sees it right away.
Bill Miller, the hitter, Barry Bonds on deck, and I think an interesting insight into Barry Bonds that you don't often hear.
Right.
Bill Miller is homered and fly to shallow left. 1 out, nobody on in the 6th inning. Giants would like to see him get on in front of Bonds here and have Bonds with an opportunity to tie the ball game. 2-2 the count.
When you're sitting on the bench as a hitter, you should be watching the pitcher to pick up some tendencies, to see if he takes the ball out of his glove quicker on the curveball.
Miller drives one deep into right. This one is gone. His 2nd home run of the game. It is 3-2, and Barry Bonds will come up with a chance to tie the game. But right now, Bill Miller with some uncharacteristic power. A 2-home run game for him.
Well, the first one was his typical line drive home run. This one, he got under it a little bit, and it was more of a fly ball home run. And it looked like an off-speed pitch. Yeah, you can see him choking it there and the ball moving. It did not get down where he wanted it, and Bill Miller hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, he must have some fans who moved here from Chicago because they threw that ball back. Some old bleacher bums must have relocated out here into the Valley of the Sun. Barry Bonds, the hitter. He is grounded to first, and he is doubled. They strike the Bonds. And you know, you don't often hear Bonds described in terms of his mental acuity toward the game.
Well, you know, I've talked to him a lot of times, and he has always impressed me as a guy that not only from the offensive standpoint, but also from playing left field. He knows all the angles out there, how to cut the angle to keep a runner from going from first to third on certain base hits to left field. I don't think there's any doubt that he's a very, very smart player.
A high foul off to the left, and will reach back into the crowd. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Barry Bonds.
Well, maybe he's a throwback because most of the players that you talk to would sit on the bench and they'd watch, like I said, to see if a guy takes the ball out of his glove quicker on the curveball or quicker on the fastball. And you can pick up little things like that. And that's what Dusty was saying that Barry sees right away. Some pitchers take the ball further back over their head on the curveball, and some take it off to the side on the fastball. There are so many little things that they do, but you have to know what you're looking for.
And a lot of people do pick them up, others don't.
Right.
But as Dusty Baker, I think, pointed out, and he played with Hank Aaron and now has managed Barry Bonds, he said outside of Hank Aaron,
right,
Barry Bonds picks those things up better than anybody's seen.
That's a special compliment. It's the hammer.
3 infielders on the right side of second for Bonds. High pop-up, foul. Stinnett. He's got it. wind must be blowing around here a little bit because that one almost got away from him. So Bonds has yet to find himself here in the young season. Now 6 for 27.
Let's take a look at how Andy Bennis set Barry Bonds up in this particular at bat. That's a little changeup. Fastball in. Another fastball in. They like to stay in with the fastball. Fastball a little bit out over the plate. There's another changeup. Slider on the inner half of the plate.
Ended up being a nice catch by Stinnett, too. Jeff Kent, 1 ball to no strikes. A foul, 1-1, 3-2 Arizona in the 6th inning. Kent has struck out and grounded to short. Bonds just a little off right now.
Yeah, well, again, he started slowly last year, and a lot of times, one of the things Barry has said is that sometimes he can't relax like at the beginning of the season or the end, and he maybe presses a little bit to start with, and that's one of the reasons he feels like he has not done as well in the postseason. That he always wants to do a lot. He wants to, get off to a great start, and in doing so, he's pressing a little bit.
Well, it certainly rose to the occasion in the stretch run last year in a dramatic Giants and Dodgers pennant race.
And that's weird, John, because he's always, done well down the stretch. I mean, even when he was, with the Pirates, and then they'd go into the playoffs, and he would not hit as well. True, they were playing the Atlanta Braves, who had a great pitching staff, but Barry Bonds is a great hitter, so you should offset some of that pitching staff by being able to take advantage of some mistakes that they make during the course of a series.
Well, they did it to Bagwell and Biggio.
Right.
Last October, shut them down. I mean, they've done it to a lot of guys in October. But Bonds had 7 home runs in the 10-game stretch when the Giants came from 2 games back of the Dodgers to clinch the division. And that's pretty MVP-like. 7 homers in the 10 biggest games of the year to lead your team to a division title. Kent gets the walk with 2 down. He's at first, and J.T. Snow comes up now. That's the first walk allowed by Bennis, and it's a time of game now where you have to sort of keep a close eye on Andy. He's really, on opening night here Tuesday around this time, started to lose it. He had a higher pitch total that night than he does right now. But we'll have Joe keep a close eye on him here, Joe. All right?
Yeah, I think
I know you're distracted. You got a lot of things going right now, but
I think the Giants are keeping a close eye on him. The Giants have impressed me as a team that, the second, third time through the order, they make adjustments. They've been able to adjust to what pitchers do to them over the course of the game. And that's why last year and a lot this year they score late a lot, because they're already adjusting to what the pitcher is doing over the course of the game.
And in the first 2 games of this series against other pitchers, it was about now that they made those adjustments. Yesterday, Joel Adamson had a 1-hit shutout into the 6th inning and a 3-run lead. They tied it by the 7th. Jeff Suppan had a 2-hit shutout into the 5th inning Friday night before they turned the game around and got it going. And they were one of the teams that had more comeback victories than any other last year, along with the Mets in the National League a year ago. 1-1 to J.T. Snow. He has an RBI that he thought he had. I mean, he had it 2 different ways, Joe. It looked like a single to center, an RBI. Then it looked like it was a ball off the mound to shortstop and an out, but an RBI. It turned out to be none of the above. Off the foot of Bennis to the shortstop. And very few people on the field, other than Bennis and I guess Randy Marsh, knew about it. Because the Diamondbacks, Jay Bell threw the ball to first, and Travis Lee started to throw the ball around the infield, thinking they got the out at first.
I'm not sure Bennis knew, John, because it hit him on the foot. He was, trying to avoid it. He doesn't know if it hit the ground first.
1-1 to J.T. Snow. 28 home runs last year, 27 of them as a left-handed batter. And he worked diligently all through the spring with his right-handed batting. And came out of the spring swinging the bat real well, and has swung the bat well this week, batting right-handed. Kent is running. Semi pitch out. There, waiting back. No, he's safe. And Jay Bell doesn't think so. And Buck Showalter is going to go out and get the argument with second base umpire Angel Hernandez. The throw was there ahead of Jeff Kent. He had kind of a fadeaway slide there. And Angel Hernandez says he somehow eluded the tag.
Well, he's saying he made a swipe at him and he missed him. That's what he's saying. But it was also a situation that looked like Jay Bell could have blocked him off the base anyway, but he didn't. But there's no doubt the throw did beat him to second base. Let's take a look at it and see. He could have blocked him off with his left leg, but he didn't. I might see he makes a swipe, and that's what he's saying. And you can see right there, good job by the umpires. They've been right on top of things today. There's the swipe that he was talking about. You see he doesn't hit him, and his left hand is on the bag. Now let's take another look here. You'll see that he swipes right in front of the bag. Watch this. His hand is not there yet. Swipes right in front of the bag, and by the time his hand glove hits him on the right shoulder, his left hand is on the bag. So umpire's right on top of it.
Well, and a courageous call by Angel Hernandez. It's the easiest thing in the world just to go ahead and call him out.
You're right.
The ball was there in front of the arrival of Jeff Kent. Well, now Snow with a chance to pick up an RBI here. If he can just elude the foot of Andy Benes. 3-1. Javier on deck.
Well, the umpires have been corrected in both of these close calls we've watched tonight. And that's what most of the time we say, that, you know, the replays usually prove the umpires are correct most of the time.
3-1 to Snow. 2 down. Kent at second. Nice pitch over the outside with a slider. 3-2. Three to 2 for the Diamondbacks, looking for their first win. And Snow fights it off.
Well, he had a pitch to hit there, John. The 3-1 pitch was a good pitcher's pitch. Andy Benes threw him a backdoor breaking ball to get to 3-2. That was a breaking ball that hung right in the middle of the plate. And I know, watch this pitch right in the middle of the plate. Look at that. And JT Snow just misses it.
This will be the 28th pitch of the inning for Benes. He struggled in this inning. And he'll have to make some more. Ball 4. With 2 down and nobody on, he has walked 2 consecutive Giants.
Let's take a look at some of these controversial calls by the umpires. That ball does hit him off the foot. It did not hit the ground first, so the umpires called it correctly. Maybe not as quickly as we would like, but correctly.
There's Mark Connor, the pitching coach, out to talk to Andy Benes. You know, 2 years ago, Tony La Russa made a comment when, not Tony La Russa, Don Baylor, when Benes pitched for La Russa in St. Louis. Don Baylor of the Rockies, after they beat Benes, said, you know, I felt we would beat him if we could stay close until the late innings. And that sort of enraged Benes. 3 days later, he told Tony La Russa, let me pitch in the bullpen tonight. And the Rockies were still there, and he came in and got his only major league save that night. And then he went out as a starter again and won 10 in a row and finished the year going 17-3.
It's one of those old baseball things, let sleeping dogs lie, don't wake them up.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. But that was considered conventional wisdom, that if you could stay close to Benes into the late innings, you'd get him.
There are a lot of pitchers who have a reputation, you know, like that if you stay close, they'll make a mistake down the stretch and you can beat them. And I'm sure it does apply to a few pitchers.
Stan Javier, and this still out in front here. Benes throwing a lot more breaking stuff in this inning than he had earlier in the game.
Well, his fastball is not as sharp as it was earlier, meaning he's not able to hit the spots. He's left a couple of pitches in the middle of the plate, and you do not want to do that. There you see he's thrown 30 pitches here in the 6th inning alone.
He'd thrown
more than any other 2.
He'd thrown 59 the whole game for 5 innings. Now 30 in this inning. Into left field, a flare. Benitez gets there with a slide, and he makes the catch. Saves a run that ends the inning. The Diamondbacks still clinging to that lead. 3-2 Arizona. We head to the last of the sixth.
Time is skating by. Feel the pressure mount. Make the moment count. Score with more NHL Center Ice as the coolest game on Earth's stretch run accelerates into overdrive. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the rest of the regular season plus next year for the special low price of just $119 or 4 interest-free monthly payments of $29.75. Don't miss this limited time offer to follow your NHL favorites and Nagano's heroes through the rest of this season plus next year. Hasek, Bure, Gretzky, Solani, Madonna, and many more. Call right now and you'll receive a free subscription to On, the official magazine of DirecTV Sports. Lord Stanley's Cup is on the line. Be there for all the action through $98.99. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the best of the NHL at the lowest possible price. Just $119 for the rest of the regular season and all of next year. It's NHL Center Ice on DirecTV Sports.
Hi, I'm Mary Deno, and right now on Channel 267 on Platinum Presents, a sneak preview of some of the groundbreaking movies available on the Independent Film Channel. Watch Hollywood's biggest names tell us why they love working in independent films. And join the celebration as DirecTV takes you to the Independent Spirit Awards. It's a sneak peek into cutting-edge filmmaking. So grab your popcorn and tune to Channel 267 right now for this month's Platinum Presents.
The new season of Major League Soccer when the Colorado Rapids take on the DC United Saturday at 7:30 on ESPN.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Kelly Tires. A good deal on a great tire. And by Wheaties, the breakfast of champions. A golden hue bordering the Valley of the Sun as we are in the twilight out here in the Sonoran Desert. There's a new jewel on the horizon here, the Bank One ballpark. Here's the in-game box score for the lineup of the Diamondbacks. Matt Williams 3 for 3. He and Travis each for the eye.
And he didn't get a good arm speed on it, and that's why it was nothing but a roller.
Diamondbacks have not been able to find any offense yet after Matt Williams in the batting order. Jones aboard. Here is Kelly Stinnett. Stinnett got his first hit of the year tonight. This could be 2. Sanchez to Kent 1. The first. Double play. The third double play into which the Diamondbacks have hit in this game.
Well,
the other. In the hole, Sanchez a long throw.
Ever loved you before? A problem here?
UPS can deliver it in 2 days for up to $11.
Discovery. Often imitated, never duplicated.
Sunday Night Baseball from Phoenix. We go to the 7th inning. The Diamondbacks leading 3-2, looking for their first win, and I mean their first win. Andy Bennis into the 7th, and just in case, the Diamondbacks bullpen is going to be ready. Brent Maine, first ball swinging, a foul at his 0-1. Maine has grounded out, and he is doubled. In fact, both bullpens are busy. The Giants starter, Sean Estes, is due up 3rd in this half inning for San Francisco. Maine, then Sanchez, and then Estes' spot in the order. And the splitter low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hander Scott Brown, and the left-hander behind the foul pole there is Omar Dahl, the only left-hander in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Steve Reed, the veteran right-hander, warming up in the Giants bullpen. To Travis Lee, got a bad hop, stayed with it. Dennis covering, and there is one away. Maine is gone. 3-2 Arizona. Sunday Night Baseball every Sunday. You'll find us on ESPN 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. And also if you've tuned into the game, but maybe you have to run to the grocery, or maybe you're out on vacation somewhere. ESPN Radio will bring it all to you with Charlie Steiner and Kevin Kennedy. Here they are making their Sunday night baseball debut on ESPN Radio. 0-1 to Ray Sanchez. 375 stations around the country will be carrying Sunday night baseball on the radio. Ball and a strike to Sanchez. He has singled and grounded out. Estes is out in the on-deck circle. Bennis has got a 5-hitter going, 2 walks. That's a chop that goes foul, and you see that hard dirt out in front of home plate. That one pounded off the dirt by Sanchez, and its next bounce is way past third base.
John, one thing about this ballpark, and when you talk to the players, that's where I get a feel for how nice the field is, playing conditions, and they all say this is a great ballpark to play in. They all enjoy it, so that's a plus. But the players like it. You know it's fan friendly.
Over the middle, Bell near second, on the run, not in time.
He had to take an extra step there. He caught it, and he had to turn sideways to make the throw, and he couldn't get the ball to first base in time to get Sanchez.
Well, now the runner at first and 1 out. Estes will bat.
Now watch, this ball is chopped over the mound. Now watch the position that Bell's in. Watch, when he catches it, now he has to try to turn sideways. See right there? That's what got him off balance, and that allowed Ray Sanchez to make it to first base. You have to catch that ball straight on and be able to throw on your next step, but he had to turn sideways, get his body turned sideways.
So Estes, who has 1 sacrifice bunt in the game, will try and do it again here. Matt Williams pulled in at third. Estes already squared around his empty bunt.
Well, people may be wondering why he's hitting, that may come in an answer Dusty gave me today. He said he's got to try to get some innings out of his starters. He does not want to start using his bullpen over and over and wear them down before the season is over. And they are in the 7th inning, and he feels like if he could bunt him in the scoring position, he has a chance to get the runner home.
Nice bunt. That'll get it done. Travis Lee tags out Estes. And Sanchez moves into scoring position.
Excellent bunt there by Sean Estes.
And to the top of the order now, Darrell Hamilton will get a shot to try and bring him home. Hamilton 0 for 3. Bill Miller's been the big stick tonight for the Giants. 2 home runs. Bonds has a double. Sanchez down at the bottom of the order has got a couple of hits. But the middle of the order has been shut down entirely by Andy Bennis. Kent, Snow, Javier. Hamilton 0 for 3 can make up for that right now with a base hit to the outfield to tie the game. Ball 1. And Bill Miller, the man on deck, has put the hurt to Bennis tonight twice. His first 2-homer game in the big leagues. Hamilton hit over 300 with men in scoring position last year for the Giants. I don't think of him as an RBI guy, but he was effective in spots like this. 2-0 the count. Now, you mentioned that bullpen for Dusty Baker, Joe. In their first 5 games, the bullpen has pitched more than 21 innings.
Right.
More than 4 per game on the average.
And he does not want, to use his bullpen up the first half of the season. He has to get some innings out of his starters because he's very, very pleased with his bullpen. He thinks he's got a great bullpen if he can just not overuse them the first half of the season.
Hamilton right through the legs of the runner Sanchez. And although he may have been screened off the play, a nice pickup by Bell, and the Giants still a run down. They're 0 for 8 with men in scoring position.
The nest is empty. Your work is done.
So powerful.
It's time to kick back and have some fun.
So agile.
You got the car now.
DeVille with the North Star system.
For who you are now, you're making whoopee.
DeVille for the time of your life.
Oh, look at you.
When I decided to train for this, I heard it all. Jehu, you fool, this is the desert. Jehu, it's 110 degrees. Crazy things. I practice around 5-6 hours a day with the rumble pack. On the slopes, in the half pipe, Jehu is there. It's very spiritual. Just you and the mountain, and the snowboard, and the game.
1080 snowboarding only on Nintendo 64. Real close to the real thing.
I warn you, snowboarders, watch out for Jehu.
At First Plus, we'll beat any deal. Hey, if you're a homeowner, bring us your best deal on a fixed rate 125 no equity loan, and we'll beat it. No games, no gimmicks. Just the best deal on a fixed rate 125 home loan. At First Plus, there's no application fees, and even the phone call is free, so you've got nothing to lose. Before you close your loan with another lender, call First Plus, because we'll beat any deal. Call 1-800-510-PLUS. That's 1-800-510-PLUS.
When I was a kid, I remember going to the Boys and Girls Club. There was this one teacher,
That's great, Frank.
Miss Franklin. She always encouraged me,
Right. Come on, Frank. You can do it.
especially when it came to baseball. It was a great experience.
There you go.
That's why I'm glad I can give something back to the Boys and Girls Club, especially to Miss Franklin.
Come on, Miss Franklin, you can do it. Come on. Here we go. Let's make this play.
Major League Baseball charities and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, giving kids a world of opportunities.
Ben Franklin discovered electricity in the sky, but he didn't know that it could be found on ice. He never watched hockey, and now he's dead. Watch the NHL on ESPN2 before life passes you by.
Our first Sunday night baseball telecast of 1998. We got a tight one, a pitcher's duel, 3-2 Arizona. And this is Eddie Diaz, a pinch hitter for Andy Bennis, leading it off in the last of the seventh against Sean Estes. Curveball, ball one. Diaz, sort of a surprise, making the ball club. Actually being recalled from Phoenix the day before opening day, and he was the opening day second baseman. Sanchez from short throws him out. Diaz still looking for his first hit. Next Sunday night we travel to the city of Angels, Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium. Jeff Bagwell of the Astros, Mike Piazza and the Dodgers got two of the premier sluggers in the game. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. Next Sunday night on ESPN. Astros roughed up their former star right-hander Darryl Kyle today at the Astrodome. They put 5 runs on him in the second inning and beat him 6-2. They have a little pop in that batting order this year with Moises Alou to go with Bagwell. Derek Bell is really off to a hot start.
Yeah, I think Derek Bell is the key. He's the guy that had an off year, and they need his bat in between Biggio and Bagwell.
Devon White. White is 1 for 3. His first inning single started a 3-run rally. The only runs they've scored against Estes. So far, those 3 have been enough. Right center field, Javier. Out number 2. And Jay Bell will come up. The Giants bullpen is busy, and so is the Arizona bullpen. The Giants will have some of their big hitters up in the 8th inning. Sean Estes, since the first inning, has allowed no runs and 5 hits. Andy Bennis went 7 innings in this one, allowing just 2 runs and 6 hits. And right now the play that really is looming huge in a 1-run game is that ball off Bennis's foot back in the 4th inning. Looked like an easy run for the Giants. Turned into a double play when Randy Marsh, the third base umpire, spotted that it had ricocheted off Bennis' foot and in the air to Bell at short, who caught it. Right to short. That is caught by Ray Sanchez, and immediately the second base umpire, Angel Hernandez, signaled out on that one. Miller, Bonds, and Kent. New pitcher coming for Arizona.
You'd really like to be there, but it's miles away. Let DirecTV Sports take you to the game with MLB Extra Innings. See up to 35 regular season games every week from all across the country and never leave home. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the entire regular season for only $119 or 4 payments of $29.75. Call now and save $20 off the regular season price. Catch the highlights as they happen from the best seat in the house, your house. Sit behind the plate, down the line, up the alley, on the bag, even in your very own skybox. Order right now, and you'll also get a free subscription to On, the official magazine of DirecTV Sports. Choose from up to 35 regular season games every week, and we'll take you there. Heck, you don't even have to pay for parking, but you do have to pick up the peanut shells. Order MLB Extra Innings today on DirecTV Sports.
When a trip to the wilderness becomes a fight for survival, two rivals.
You and my wife? I've seen you with her.
I don't want to hear it! Must rely on each other.
Come on, Charles!
And if you think you know who will survive,
Well, it's full of betrayal.
you have never been.
I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna kill the mother.
To the edge.
Get me!
Anthony Hopkins, Alec Baldwin, The Edge.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Three to 2 Arizona. We move to the top of the 8th inning, and now the game's going to the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Eddie Diaz stays in at second base after he pinch hit for Bennis, and the new pitcher, Omar Dahl, comes on. The only left-hander out of their bullpen. He will be in the 8th spot in place of Batista. Now, so far in their first 5 games, the bullpen has been used in every game and has allowed runs in every single game.
Well, they've never had a lead to protect. They have one right now. But Omar Dahl is in here for 2 reasons: to turn Bill Miller around, because he's hit 2 home runs left-handed, and to face Barry Bonds.
And the bullpen is very busy for the Diamondbacks. Curveball. Nice. Quickly is ahead 0-2. Andy Bennis, 7 innings. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 homers allowed. He threw 100 pitches. Off the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Miller. 3-2 Arizona. And the curve is too far outside. 2-2. Miller. There's been not much difference between his batting right-handed and left-handed in his first 2 years. Right to Matt Williams.
Well, we took a look at Ken Griffey Jr.'s bat speed. Let's take a look at Barry Bonds' bat speed. This is the ball that he hit in the first inning. Hit a hard ground ball to first base. And you see right there, tremendous bat speed by Barry Bonds. In fact, he has matched Ken Griffey Jr., 97 miles an hour. And
I'm not surprised.
Well, me either, because Barry has a short, quick swing. Griffey's is a little longer, but it's also very quick.
1 ball, 1 strike now to Bonds.
To put everything in proper perspective, Miller had a 77 miles per hour bat speed when he hit the home run in the first inning. So it tells you that if you don't have the bat speed, you have to start a little sooner. And everyone will tell you if you start too soon, you could be fooled easier.
Bonds hits it over to shortstop. Nobody's there. Matt Williams gets there and throws him out. They had 3 infielders bunched up on the right side. Williams the only man left on that side. And he got there to shortstop. And the man who originally was a shortstop shows some of his old moves there.
Well, Dahl has thrown Barry a lot of breaking balls in the past, and Barry is hitting pretty well. So he comes with a fastball in. Matt Williams tries to cover. He gets there, whirls, and makes the throw to first base just in time to get Barry Bonds. Good play there by Matt. As you see, he has to go far to his left just to come up with it. Then he has to turn and find first base. Does a good job.
And now, with Scott Brown and Felix Rodriguez, a couple of right-handers up in the bullpen. The right-hander batting Jeff Kent coming up. Scott Brown, the right-hander, gets the call. 3-2 Arizona.
don't need to go anywhere but the Home Depot for your lawn and garden. We've got it all.
You can get wheelbarrows, you can get fertilizer, you can get
tools, shovels, rakes, hose,
bushes, shrubs, trees.
You're going to get a better deal than you would somewhere else.
You can get everything you need for your yard right here.
You should be able to get it all in one spot. I'm sorry you travel so much.
Grow a thick, green, beautiful lawn with Scott's Turf Builder. One bag covers 5,000 square feet, and it's at the guaranteed low price every day at the Home Depot.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
This is for Mr. Blanchard, who told me to make something of myself. For Miss Miller, who never let me settle for a seat. For my parents, who believe in my dreams. For myself, for my future.
Be all that you can be.
The art of tennis, as played by the masters. Tennis on ESPN.
29-year-old right-hander Scott Brow on to face Jeff Kent. Arizona leading by 1. Felix Rodriguez stays up in the bullpen. The man who's supposed to be the Diamondbacks closer.
And you might wonder why, if he's their closer, he's not in to pitch to the Giants' best power hitter at this stage. You know, Barry Bonds is already out. Jeff Kent is their next best power man on this ball club.
Well, Brown did pitch 3 shutout innings against the Giants here Friday night. They never got a base runner against him. And Kent fouled out to first the only time he faced him that night. And that's 2-1. I guess, you know, some managers just like to have that guy start the 9th inning with nobody on base and feeling that that's the guy's best shot to get it done.
So far, Brow is doing a good job, but as we've talked in the past, John, the game is not always won or lost in the 9th inning. Things can happen before the 9th inning. So if you get an opportunity, especially, you know, when you're 0-5, Kent's upset about something.
Now he gets back in there. 2-2 the count. That is past Jay Bell, a base hit to left field. Now JT Snow, and ordinarily you'd see a manager bring in the lefty here to turn Snow around, but they don't have a lefty.
Well, here you see Jeff Kent go out and get this fastball. He pulled it. He had missed 2 sliders. They tried to sneak a fastball by him right off the tip of the glove of Jay Bell, who made a good try to catch it in the air.
So Snow, for one of the few times since he's been a Giant, bats in a big spot late in the game and is allowed to swing left-handed. The only lefty the Diamondbacks have in the bullpen has already been used. Ball 1. Snow has hit back to the pitcher. He's lined into a very controversial double play, and he has walked. He's 0 for 2. 3-2 Arizona, top of the 8th. Only one expansion team has ever gone as far as the Diamondbacks without winning a ball game. That was the original New York Mets of '62. They lost their first 9 games. And let's face it, nobody wants to be compared to the original New York Mets. They lost 120 all told that first year, the most losses in the 20th century by a team. The Diamondbacks are second only to those Mets with 5 losses at the start. Trying to get number 1. 2-0. They've led in all 3 of the games here with San Francisco over the weekend. They were leading into the 6th inning Thursday against Colorado. They have not yet won one. Big pitch here, 2-0 to J.T. Snow. He hit 28 home runs last year with 104 batted in. That one is hit well into left center. Benitez is back. He's there. He's got it. The side is retired. And so they've gone through the Giants' power, still leading. Although Snow did not miss by much. Lee and then Williams.
The skull bone's connected to the neck bone. The neck bone's connected to the backbone. Oh, the backbone's connected to the crotch bone. The wrist bone's connected to the hand bone. The hand bone's connected to the Duquesne. That's how you slam it down. That's how you slam it down.
Golf's not hard with Tiger Woods and the Air Zoom TW.
A common problem in golf is the slice. One solution is to play with a gallery. Having women and children to my left and right is a handy reminder that I need to keep my club face square. Now let's see how this tip works for Joe, a 27 handicapper from Logansport. Go get him, Joe. Joe overcompensated for his slice and hooked him. Something we'll be sure to work on next time.
Hello, Peterson. Henderson. Listen, can't talk, real busy. Just want to touch base. About that contract, let's get moving on it. Yeah, I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. Let's shake.
We make owning a cellular phone affordable.
Can't do it. Gonna be in Hong Kong.
So you can act like you have a lot of money.
Yeah, how's that stock doing? Up 2 5/8. Well, then sell.
Even if you really don't.
Sell, 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 sell.
Circuit City, you can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
À la différence d'autres fonds internationaux, l'American Century International Growth Fund est constitué société par société. Jisaini, Heisha no management chimua, Sekaju o mawate, Sorizori no kaisho erabimashita. Dessutom behärskar vårt team Suttons språk tillsammans, slikt att alla förstår ett enaste ord. Performance. Call 1-800-321-3219.
3-2 Arizona, last of the 8th. These beautiful aerial views provided by the Pepsi tethered blimp. This unique aerial platform operates silently. There are no engines on board. Sean Estes throws one right over the head of Brent Maine for ball 1 to Travis Lee. Lee has singled home a run. He's been robbed of a hit by Jeff Kent, and he has hit into a double play. A 3-run first against Estes. That's all he's allowed, but that's been enough up till now. Jamming him, 1-1 to Lee. From Olympia, Washington, Joe. Olympia High School. Not even drafted out of high school. On the left field line, Barry Bonds. And there is one away. Well, I think this is a little nervous time for the people here who have been with this club since it was born.
Yes.
3 years ago. You know, it's been more than 3 years since they were awarded this franchise. All of the planning, bringing it to this, and now the first week so highly anticipated, and they have yet to win. Dusty Baker out to the mound, and that's going to do it for Sean Estes with Matt Williams coming up. And some right-handed hitters. He's got the right-hander Steve Reed in the bullpen, and he'll come on to face Matty. When it comes to running, Mark Gardner, somewhat of a protege of the veteran right-hander last year. He soared at 19 wins. He gives way here now to Steve Reed, the veteran side armor, formerly with the Colorado Rockies. And, of course, a lot of those home runs allowed were in the mile-high atmosphere of Coors Field. Matt Williams, the hitter. Williams has 3 singles, a bloop to right that drove in an important run in this game, and 2 ground balls into left. Broken bat. Shallow left center. Is he going to do it again? Sanchez, nice play. Just when we thought that Matt was going to find yet another hole out there somewhere, Sanchez takes one away for out number 2.
Nice play there by Sanchez. That's a very difficult play when the ball is directly over your head like that. See, this looked like a wide receiver going downfield. I mean, to be able to make that catch, that is a very difficult catch. I mean, look at this. I mean, nice play there by Sanchez. Matt Williams probably figured he had another one.
Looked like a guy in another Giants uniform in another era at the Polo Grounds.
Yeah,
44
say hey,
years
huh?
ago. Yeah, Willie Mays, although it's a little bit of a different ball. A guy hit it about 460 feet. Vic Wertz. Brent Brady. That's a foul ball, by the way. Bill Miller throws over to first. They make the play, but they needn't have. It was a foul ball. Brent Brady, one of 4 left-handed hitters available to Buck Showalter off the bench, and he is pinch hitting for Yamil Benitez here against the right-hander Steve Reed. 2 down, nobody on in the 8th inning. Now earlier they had Felix Rodriguez warming up in the Diamondbacks bullpen. The Giants have the switch hitting Javier, the left-handed batting Maine, and the right-handed batting Sanchez due up in the 9th inning. So whether Showalter will stay with Brow or go to Felix Rodriguez, we do not know. Sean Estes finishes 7 1/3 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits. A horrible start in the 1st inning. He then gathered himself beautifully, but that may cost him the game.
But he gave the Giants some innings, and that was another important thing. And he probably figured out what he was doing. He got his rhythm going down the stretch. He pitched pretty well. And the same for Andy Bennis. Both starting pitchers pitch well, especially after the 1st inning.
1-2 to Brady, formerly with the Minnesota Twins. He was a platoon player under Tom Kelly there last year. Popped up. Foul ground. Maine and Snow coming over. And neither one can get to it. It's in amongst the spectators. 1-2 the count. The equipment snafu there. Maine takes care of it. Now you see the Diamondbacks hoping that the men in the purple pinstripes will get that first win tonight as they all anxiously look on. They'd like to make that little bit of Diamondbacks history here in their home ballpark before they head out on a 10-game road trip. 1-2 the count to Brady. Foul off the left field line. 47,593 the official paid crowd here tonight. It's been about the average crowd here in the first week. They sold nearly 36,000 season tickets, we understand. So there'll be a big crowd here every night. Jammed him with that little frisbee slider on the hands. It's back into the upper deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was a great description. A little frisbee slider. Truthfully, that's what it looked like. When he threw it sidearm, it looked like a little frisbee there.
1-2 the count. Steve Reed. Very loose, very comical.
Here's that little frisbee slider you were talking about. Look at that. I mean, it looks like a frisbee. Kind of sails in a little bit.
Well, maybe the way you throw a frisbee.
Yeah.
When I throw it, Joe, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
Straight as an arrow.
Oh, no, mine had a little curvature to it.
You can't throw a frisbee like a baseball. That's the problem.
Oh, well, maybe that's why I didn't do so well.
Go to the beach with Joe. It's so embarrassing when he wants to throw the frisbee. Jeff Kent. And he throws out Brady. The Diamondbacks got 3 in the first, none since. It's been enough so far. 1 more inning to go. 9th inning, 3-2, Arizona. Pitching summary now. And the starting pitchers both did well. Andy Bennis, 100 pitches. 2 runs, 6 hits allowed. Estes, 7 1/3 innings. 3 runs, 8 hits, 103 pitches. But all 3 of the runs scoring very early. In fact, the 3rd run scored as he got his first 2 outs of the game. He then kind of rolled through beautifully the rest of the way, but those 3 might be enough to put an L on him. And here is Felix Rodriguez, formerly of the Reds, hard-throwing right-hander. He was signed as a catcher by the Dodgers. Brent Brady stays in to play left field. Stan Javier will lead it off here for the Giants. The big crowd offering their support of Felix Rodriguez. He throws real hard. You can see it right there, 94 miles an hour. And Javier can't believe it. He thought that was too far inside.
Well, this is his first save opportunity this year for the Diamondbacks.
He pitched the ninth inning Wednesday, or rather Thursday, against Colorado, but only got embarrassed in that one. Matt Williams tried a hidden ball trick with a runner at third base, and Rodriguez walked right up on the hill without the ball and straddled the pitching slab. And as Williams was tagging the guy out at third base thinking he'd pulled it off, they called a balk and the run was allowed to score. Shot it right by Javier.
And you know what's good there, John? Not only is it 94 miles an hour, there's some movement on the baseball. He's got good movement there.
He was in 26 games with the Reds last year. 46 innings. Tended to be wild. He struck him out.
It's a live 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Look, see the movement there? That's what you want, a little hop right at the end. And Rodriguez has that hop.
Sports Center right after the ball game. A lot of good pitching around baseball today. The Dodgers won their game in Cincinnati 1-0, for instance. Jordan and Drexler head-to-head. Conversation with Tiger Woods. Sports Center right after the game. Kenny Mayne and Dan Patrick. Stay tuned. 1 ball to no strikes to Brent Mayne. Diamondbacks are shaded toward the lines. Williams at third, Lee at first. Back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see how they play it. Lee very deep at first and over toward the foul line. Some managers will have a guy just put almost right next to the line.
Right. He's not playing that close. And I agree with this strategy. I would not just play right on the lines if I was Buck Showalter. I think he's doing a good job here.
They're shaded there, but not right on the line. 2-1 the count.
You don't need to catch a foul ball.
The idea being that they just don't want to allow an extra base hit to put a man into scoring position with a 1-run lead in the 9th inning. 2-1 the count. And he humped him out there, and he knows it.
Well, the one thing that he's done is stayed consistently right at 94 miles an hour.
This is Felix Rodriguez's first ever save opportunity. He had only 1 save in his minor league career. Struck him out. 2 hitters and 2 strikeouts. And the big crowd, sensing that victory may finally be at hand, is on its feet.
Well, the one good thing he does there, he hides the ball. See, he's got a little funny motion there, and that ball seems like it just stays up. It doesn't sink. It runs away from the left-handed hitter. He may be more effective against left-handers than he is right-handers.
Well, we'll get a chance to see here as he faces a right-handed hitter, Ray Sanchez. Very adept at putting the ball in play. 2 down, nobody on. Strike call to the outside. Felix Rodriguez trying to turn this into that long-awaited night to remember. The Diamondbacks in their first week looking for that first win. Strike 2 on the outside.
Well, you see Buck Showalter, he's trying to move the right fielder, Chris Jones. He wants him to move toward the line, which he does in right field.
1 strike away from their first win. Not this time.
Well,
1-2.
Since that he threw that one a little harder than any other fastball he's thrown. That was 95 miles an hour. We have not seen a breaking ball the entire inning.
Staying with the gas. Stays alive. Man, 96 miles an hour, and he almost took that one out of the glove of the catcher Stinnett to stay alive. Too far outside. The fans don't think so. They're all sure that that was right down the heart of the plate, and they've just been robbed.
They'll take it any way they can get it. That first win.
2-2 the count. Marvin Bernard, a left-handed hitter, is on deck. 2 down. It is 3-2. Rodriguez came in here just like a guy who's been saving 40 games a year for years. Throwing strikes, blowing it past him. Now it's 3-2 to Sanchez. Into left center field. On the run, Devon White. He's got it! And the Diamondbacks have their first win. So it took them the whole first week, but they now head out on their first road trip with their first win. The Devil Rays in St. Petersburg got one real early on. And the Diamondbacks win one, and they also, in getting that win against the Giants, Joe, served notice about how tough they can be with a guy like Bennis or their second starter, Willie Blair. They've got some experience up top of that rotation and some experience on the field as well. And those were the guys who got in the win. Bennis and those first 4 guys in the lineup, the 3 veterans and the rookie Travis Lee, they're the ones who got him the 3 runs.
But the impressive thing to me was a well-played ball game. They got good pitching from Andy Bennis. They got the runners in when they were in scoring position, and they were able to hold on. And I'm impressed with Rodriguez. I mean, he just comes in throwing gas. So this Diamondbacks team is probably going to be a little better than most people anticipate.
So everything that looked so dismal after 5 games, it all looks much sweeter now. And of course, that one ball off the foot of Andy Bennis, that will linger with the Giants for a good long while. Next Sunday will be at Dodger Stadium. Jeff Bagwell of the Astros, Mike Piazza and the Dodgers, 8